capital is teaming with lawmakers, lobbyists, and legislative aides, all looking to push their agendas and create meaningful, impactful laws to change the lives of millions of Americans across the country. That's American democracy. But for many Americans, our nation's capital is a distant, elitist world where political theater plays out. Not like the Broadway allure of Hamilton, more like West Side Story vibes.
When you're a jet, let them do what they can. You've got brothers around, you're a family man.
Yet amid the halls of democracy stands one of us.
Let's turn it over to Representative Glusenkamp-Perez.
Meet Representative Marie Glusenkamp-Perez, a repair shop owner who serves as the congressional representative for Washington State's 3rd District. Marie, as she likes to be called, isn't your average congresswoman. She's like the Bruce Springsteen of the political world. She came from a working-class family in rural Southwest Washington. Her father, a Mexican immigrant, is a pastor. Her mom, a 4th-generation Washingtonian, a teacher. Since high school, she had a passion for politics, often skirting both sides of the aisle. Today, she's a freshman Democrat who is advocating for the working middle class. A legislative rock star in our industry, Marie was one of the first co-sponsors of the Repair Act, which would solidify a consumer's access to their own vehicle data, an important step for the automotive aftermarket to gain access to critical remote diagnostics and telematics data.
Consumers are going to turn away from owning their personal vehicles if we don't make it affordable and durable. So you need the aftermarket side. As we box more and more people out of accessing and being able to work on their own cars, you are cutting that life cycle off at the knees.
An avid outdoorswoman, Marie developed a love for biking and tinkering with bike parts in college, which led her to meet her husband, Dean, a mobile car technician at the time. Just to start out, can you tell us how you got into the automotive business?
Yeah, I fell in love with the right man, I guess. So I was working as a bike mechanic and ran into my husband, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna find something for that man to fix. I did. Yeah, it was funny. The first gift he ever gave me was the carburetor off of a weed eater.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
But like most bike mechanics, like the ugly secret is that most bike mechanics want to graduate into the automotive, how cool is the carburetor,
After Marie graduated from Reed College with her degree in economics, Dean was renting some shop space, yet expressed interest in opening a shop of his own.
He needed help, and I was looking to be helpful, and so we just sort of grew the business together, and yeah, I love it.
In 2018, Marie and Dean found shop space in Portland and named the 6-bay shop Dean's Car Care.
So we're very creative people.
Love it, love it. And can you describe the shop? How many bays, employees?
It's a 6-bay shop, got 8 people now. And it's actually, the first shop he worked at was Z's Car Care. And so it's a homage to the guy that gave him a job, his first job. Our property has been a shop since the 1940s.
Wow.
And we bought it from the 2nd generation who was retiring. And they didn't have a 3rd generation to take over. So we bought the building, but not we moved our own business in there. So, and then in 2020, we bought out a machine shop that was closing down and moved that into the east wing of our building.
Wow.
So, yeah, we love it. I mean, it's like a old funky building, and but yeah, it's been a really great challenge.
Marie said Dean's Car Care is unique in the types of vehicles it services.
Our average age of our cars are 20 years old. So we're kind of in the, a lot of daily drivers, and then a lot of we're one of the only shops that will work on these Japanese imports, the JDMs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so for a minute we had a service writer who actually a couple of them who spoke Japanese, so sourcing parts, figuring out how to understand some of these manuals and what forums to be on and all that. So yeah, it's a little bit of a niche market.
For sure. And what services do you guys offer?
Oh, we're full service, and
Okay.
then we'll do heads. We can rebuild heads. Now it's a machine shop, and like our lathes and all kinds of stuff.
To gain her seat in Congress, Marie faced a tough opponent in the 2022 election, Republican Joe Kent. In a narrow victory, Marie flipped her district with little to no national help, campaigning on the promise of not representing special interests and not taking corporate PAC money. Instead, the 35-year-old Latina business owner and working mom focused on the working class, running as a voice for workers who have a little grease under their fingernails. Some of the issues she is advocating for right now are better funding and access to scholarships for trade schools, right to repair, and making government funding easier to access for small business owners.
I really believe in service. What I really care about, what people I run into at the grocery store think, not what's happening here in DC. All of the crazy things you hear about Congress, it's noise. I think you have to stay focused on why you came here. And for me, that's right to repair. It's trade schools and CTE. It's supporting just a strong middle class and a real vibrant small business economy.